Becoming a great negotiator is a skill which each of us has the ability to learn. It takes commitment and a good plan to be successful. Truly great negotiators not only know the strategies and tactics of the negotiation process, but also possess certain qualities or characteristics that bring them success. Often, a successful negotiation process depends on having a good working relationship with the other party. Crestcom's negotiation model allows you to step through the negotiation process using 5 key disciplines, building the relationship with each step. The 5 disciplines of Crestcom's negotiation model include 1. Prepare. 2. Know. 3. Create. 4. Give and get. And 5. Conclude. We will describe each step for you to provide an overview of this model. Step 1. Prepare. The purpose of the prepare step is to determine the outcome you would like to achieve and to formulate plans to begin a dialogue which keeps a good working relationship among the negotiators. Think. How will you begin your dialogue? What will you say to initiate the negotiation conversation? How do you want your negotiation to end? What are the objectives? What do you want the outcome to be? When thinking about your outcome, what information do you have or can you find to support your objectives? Keep in mind that in planning, we can establish clear and focused goals, but we also have to be open to unexpected opportunities or obstacles that may arise during the process. Negotiation is an interactive and creative process that often leads down unexpected roads. By carefully preparing before you enter a negotiation, you can set yourself up for the best possible outcome. Step 2. Know. The second step of the 5 disciplines of Crestcom's negotiation model is the know step. While planning for the know step, the negotiator needs to imagine or research the interests and needs of the other party. Use empathy, as it's important to try and place yourself in the other person's shoes. How might they feel about your objectives? Good negotiators ask many questions. You'll need to prepare questions to ask during the actual negotiation. Your relevant questions will act as tools to validate what you think may be true, or to uncover more of the other person's interests and needs. Some questions that can be useful are: what do you think about this arrangement? What concerns do you have that I may not have addressed? Tell me more about this, please. What might you need from me to make this request work? Can you see this as a successful arrangement? Once you ask the question, be sure to listen to the response. During the actual negotiation, your emotions may be in a curious state as the other party responds to your questions. You can prepare yourself to reply with emotional intelligence by using active listening techniques to clarify what the other party said. Ask why and why not during appropriate times, and discuss any differences of opinions with honesty, not with blame. Remember the importance of maintaining good relationships during negotiation. A common phrase used in the know step is, "I can understand how you might feel that way." This is using empathy, an important characteristic for good negotiators. According to many thought leaders in the field, being able to see a situation from the eyes of the other party may be the most important skill for a negotiator. Remember that the definition of negotiation includes seeking common ground and reaching an agreement. Together, considering the perspectives of both parties is how minds move forward towards a decision agreeable to both sides to settle a matter or resolve a conflict. Planning Step 3. Create. Knowing that negotiation is an interactive process presumes we know the process won't follow our prepared script. Although a win-win outcome is ideal, sometimes it just isn't possible. In this case, creating credible alternative options is the next step. To prepare for the uncertain path of negotiations, the Create step prompts us to generate credible alternatives by brainstorming. The goal of your brainstorming is to first come up with multiple ideas and alternatives to use in response to the information you receive in the know step. Don't qualify or judge the ideas, just get them all out. After you've brainstormed a quantity of ideas, then evaluate them. Which ones would be the most credible ideas for you to use if negotiations went down this path or that? Additionally, you'll want to be sure you've outlined your BATNA. Your BATNA is the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. What are you willing to accept as an alternative to your desired outcome? We should always be working towards a win-win outcome, considering the needs and interests of both sides and maintaining good relationships. Completing the Create step during your preparation helps the process go much more smoothly. All negotiators need to be prepared to make concessions, to give and get. As two parties move towards a joint agreement, each side may need to be creative to compromise. A creative mind can continue to construct different alternatives that may be acceptable to both sides. In preparing for this discipline, you should make a list of possible concessions. Decide which concessions are more important and less important. Consider your bottom line. When would you be willing to walk away if the negotiations did not work out? Oftentimes, this decision is a limiting factor to creative decisions. It's good to know personally when to walk away if there is no deal to be made. Reflecting on the clarity around why you are negotiating will help you decide when to leave or continue on with the negotiations. This is an important step in the planning process. When will you walk away? During the give and get step of the negotiation, good negotiators exhibit patience. It is important to pay attention to interpersonal communication. Be present. How you communicate and your use of words is important. Watch your tone and intent, and carry on with respect. Read the other person. Mirror their actions to show you've gained rapport. Use body language to engage and communicate sincerity. This includes appropriate eye contact, leaning forward, listening, and nodding in agreement of ideas. To determine the best path to go down, ask questions. You can use probing questions that dig deeper and ask, "What would happen if we," or "How would that work?" A phrase like, "Say more about that," can reveal more thoughts in the process as well. Allow the other party to weigh in on your concessions, perhaps offering concessions of their own. It's important to maintain positive relationships during this step and throughout the negotiation. Even if you decide to walk away from the negotiation, it is important to use high emotional intelligence for the good of the relationship. Oftentimes, it is beneficial to ask for explanations about concerns. Asking questions sometimes provides better understanding of the issues on both sides and may surprisingly lead to additional alternatives. Continually checking your emotional level can lead to a more positive outcome. Step 5. Conclude. At the conclude step, clarify the agreement and define the next steps. Close with confidence and clarity. Clarify with phrases like, "So what we're agreeing to is." Summarize what is agreed upon, state next steps, and have each party sign the agreement. Hold yourself to the highest standards no matter what the outcome of the negotiations. Your actions define your character. If you've lost the agreement or have stopped the negotiation, leave with grace. Don't burn bridges emotionally. In negotiation, the best outcome is a win-win. Everyone wins and benefits from the outcome of the negotiation. Other less desirable strategies are win-lose. One party wins, the other loses. One party benefits while the other remains dissatisfied. Lastly, a lose-lose. The outcome is negative for both parties. Your ability to strengthen your negotiation process and skills provides the best opportunity for you to have the best negotiation outcome. By using the Crestcom's negotiation model, you will build your negotiation skills. The model will guide you in preparation and implementation of your future negotiations while building the relationship with each step.